Hey, what's going on, Gemini? Gemini, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate your time and your energy. So let's go ahead and jump right on into this, okay? This is going to be your general reading for March 2019, the first half, right? So roughly the 1st through the 15th. This will be for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So if the messages don't resonate to you, then don't force it by any means, okay? Just leave it where it is. Watch another sign or another reader, okay? If it does resonate to you, then great. Let me know how it works out for you guys in the comment box below, okay? I do appreciate your comments. So I am going to pull some astrology, an astrology card here just to get a focal energy, a focal area of the energy that is surrounding you guys for this time frame. So the first half of March 2019, Spirit, please allow us to see what is the focal energy. The third house, messages. Wow. Okay, Gemini. So this could be a time frame where you guys, there's a lot of information flowing. People have a lot of things to say. You have a lot of things to say, maybe. Okay, so this is definitely talking about your environment. Your energy is really going to be, and this is good because this is air energy. Messages, communication is very, air energy, which is totally Gemini energy, Libra and Aquarius as well. So I don't know. There may be some other Geminis in your midst, or Libras or Aquariuses, or maybe just anybody in your environment that, again, just have a lot to get off their chest or a lot to say, and you as well, okay? And it may come in the form of like text messages, emails, letters, things like that, writings. I mean, it could possibly be all verbal. I think a lot of you, even this kind of, I don't know, with this eye here at the top, with the eye of Horus here at the top, I do feel like a lot of you Geminis will be able to read through all the bullshit of like the things that people say to you, or the way that people communicate with you. You're going to be kind of being able to kind of read between the lines or see through people's BS as well. So let's see what the tarot has to add here. There. Okay, Gemini. All right. So let's take a look and see what our central energy here is. The Lovers. Ooh, Gemini. This is definitely this is your card. This is your energy. This is your card, Gemini. So a lot of you are going to be really faced with either some sort of choice, some sort of like divine choice, right? Or this is like, maybe this is where there's a turning point in your life where, you're going to have to really choose between two things that you really love, or two people that you really love. Or Gemini, this is where you're kind of internalizing here on yourself a lot through this time frame, and maybe there's just a particular idea, or maybe there's two very attractive ideas about something, and you're just kind of not really sure which idea it is that you want to continue to keep having, or that you want to make your the most fundamental. This is very interesting, Gemini. I see where there's maybe a particular situation that is like, maybe both sides kind of want you, like both sides have like maybe presented some sort of case to you, and you kind of want to, or rather they want you to be able to kind of weigh in somewhere, right? Like I can almost kind of see you, Gemini, as this guy, and the other people are kind of waiting on you to kind of weigh in to see, This is very interesting, Gemini, so far, but let's keep going. The past energy here is the Empress. So I do feel you being very loving and very nurturing of a person. I do feel like it, it is very powerful. It is like, I get like a matriarch type figure, Gemini. So that may be you, or maybe someone, or excuse me, someone in your past that was a Gemini that was also a very kind of matriarchal, is that a word? Figure in your life. You may have really nurtured a particular idea or person's, or rather, let me rephrase that. You may have nurtured two particular ideas or two particular people to the point to where it's like, okay, which fruit do I pick off the tree? You know? So again, that may speak to that. That may speak to where, you may be dealing with, or you may have had, or in the past, up to now, you've been kind of feeding into two different ideas or two different people, and allowing things to really develop and grow to the next level. And it's just like, okay, now you're having to really choose. Okay, so let's see what the present energies look like. The Four of Swords. So yeah, a lot of you just kind of really want to just take a mental break at this time. And it's just like, because it's just too difficult of a choice. It's too hard of a choice, it's like for a lot of you, it's just like all you were really trying to do was, it's not like you were trying to put yourself in a position to where you would have to, make this grand sort of choice. It was at first maybe about just kind of keeping your options open and just kind of seeing where and how things develop, right? But you put so much into it, you put so much care into both situations to where now they both are, viable options again, as far as for where you should go. And this is just a very hard choice or a hard matter for you to really deal with. So it's like a lot of you just kind of at this time just kind of want to just lay down and just take a time out, mentally, just so that you can really choose and see, or really, maybe even for some of you, it's like you may be trying to seek some sort of guidance at this time right now. You may be asking spirit to really kind of just speak to your mind a little bit as far as to, where you should really go. And it's not like you're making a choice here in this matter. It's just, you're just really needing to just kind of, just take a break and just take a moment to just really reflect here. So the potential energies where this could possibly shape up here is the King of Cups. Okay, so this okay, so I feel like this could speak to maybe one of these people that are in, this environment, or, someone that you have to choose. They may be, an older male, or this could be someone that, or rather, this just could be your energy of finally making a particular choice. And I think for a lot of you, though, it's like, for some of you, it's like you possibly could just end up choosing to really just kind of isolate yourself a little bit. Yeah, it's going to hurt and you're going to feel it, but it's almost as like you just feel like that's just really the smarter move emotionally, because you don't, you don't know, maybe you don't want to hurt anyone, or you don't want any particular situation to go without. Okay. Now, for those of you who are like dealing with a particular idea, I do feel like, yeah, you definitely, there's definitely like some sort of idea that you conclude upon, but it's definitely, again, completely outside of, this. Interesting though. Underlying here, we got the Two of Cups. So, okay. So yeah, so this definitely could possibly speak to some relationship that's in your environment, family wise, or, lover wise, right? Either way, it does speak to, maybe, again, people now that are in your environment, where you're really going to be just kind of, again, trying to decide what relationships you actually really want to nurture more. now that you've nurtured them up to this point. So now we do know that it is about people. It may be a lover, two lovers, or possibly could be between, you know, just two family members, two close family members. But let's go ahead and see what the present environment around you is. Okay, so the sun. Okay. Okay, so I do see at least a brief moment of clarity, if not a total moment of clarity here. But it is in the present environment. So I do feel like right now you guys are really, again, because this is, again, the present energy. So now this is the present environment. So this is the present energies where you're being called to just kind of take a look and just kind of reflect on your own feelings or your own thoughts. And then with the sun card here, I kind of see that happening again, because you're right in front of the reflection of yourself, right? But it's a reflection of like your older self or a reflection of your higher self. And then this is you in your most innocent form. So it's almost to say that, again, a lot of you, that's where you're seeking your clarity. That's where you're seeking your enlightenment, you know? You're reaching out to, again, like I said here, you're reaching out to like the divine, or you're reaching out to, whomever it is that you believe in, but you're trying to really just get a clear picture of what you should do going forward. Of what you should do going forward. And I just feel as though a lot of you will be, a lot of you are just going to be in isolation at this time, because you don't want to hurt anyone, but at the same time, you know that something needs to be done. Oh, wow. And then the moon card. So now we have the sun and the moon. Is there an eclipse that's happening sometime in March? I'm not sure, but but I don't know. For some of you Geminis, I don't know. This may speak to a lot of you. This may speak to you if you have like a sign that's in your opposition. So like maybe you're Gemini sun, but your moon is whatever opposes Gemini, which would be what? Let's see. What, Sagittarius? So maybe your sun is in Gemini and your moon is in Sagittarius, or vice versa. I feel like a lot of you kind of want to just, again, take the time to make sure that everything is known here. Like all the facts are, you want to make sure all the facts are in, everything is known about the situation. Maybe you feel as though there's some things that possibly are unknown, or maybe you're just reading into things a lot deeper. Because again, as I said before, you possibly could be, just kind of reading between the lines here about different messages. So you may be getting contacted by people around you saying, okay, what did you decide, Gemini? What did you decide? And it's just like, you're back and forth with it. With the sun and the moon card is because, you're back and forth with it. It's like on the one hand, you see yourself doing it, but on the other hand, it's like, but, what is the darker side of that? The outcome card here is the World. Okay, what I actually see here, Gemini, though, more strongly now, is I do see you making that decision. I do see you making that decision. However, it's only going to come after a time of you kind of isolating yourself a little bit to understand the decision more now, to understand the importance of how can I say it? It's like you kind of led two people on, and they're both great people, and it's like now you really don't want to hurt someone, but it's like you're trying to make sure that you're trying to figure out a way to not hurt them as bad. But I do feel as though the World card pops up here because there is the decision that is being made. I do feel like for some of you, you're going to try to have it all. You know, you're going to have that main one, and then you're going to have this other one that you keep in secret. Interesting. But let's see what the card here under the deck was. The Six of Wands. So there is some success, right? Oh, Jesus, Gemini. Gemini, what is this? You're going to be able to successfully, you know, kind of keep two things going. Maybe this is talking about the balance. Both sides of you here. Two people here, 11. Two of Cups, the opposition. Having it all with the World. So you're going to possibly be able to kind of, you know, kind of work this out a little bit. But you're in isolation right now. You do go into isolation at some point. Maybe possibly so that you can kind of try to figure out exactly how you can have it all. So maybe that's the thing, Gemini. You want it all. You'll have it all. You'll be able to balance. You know, if that's what you want to do. Now, I'm not encouraging that you guys, you know, go out there and cheat, you know, or whatever. That's definitely not what I encourage. I just do feel as though the energy is playing out that you'll be able to maintain that, if that's what you're putting your focus into. Now, for others of you, it could be two different jobs, you know, or it could be time spent between two different people. It doesn't even have to be romantic. It just be, you know, just people that you love, you know, just friends. Maybe two friends that don't get along and that always have something to say about the other person. And you're able to see all the writing on the wall because both sides here are coming to you with information about the other. And, you know, it's like they have their truth, you have your truth, or excuse me, you know, A has their truth and B has their truth. And then here you are, Gemini, being, you know, able to kind of see both sides, whereas they're not able to see both sides because they're only talking about their side, but you're able to see both. The Sun and the Moon there, yeah. So let's pull 3 cards here for clarification. Okay, yeah, the Eight of Swords. You're kind of a little caught up here. Yeah, now it's coming together. Okay, so the Ace of Swords. All right, let's get one more. And then the Sun. Okay, so now we got the Sun on the card, on the table twice. So yeah, I see what it's about now. It's definitely about two people that you love, whether that is relationship, you know, romantic, or it's just friendship. But I feel as like they're complete opposites. And Gemini, you're kind of like that balance that's kind of holding really everything together. I do feel like you're able to successfully do that. But it is very tiring for you, okay? And there's like a moment where you're just going to have to just take a break, you know? But I do feel like you'll be able to go eventually, you know, have everything, or be able to kind of put everything back together here, okay? Now, how you can do that, possibly with the Eight of Swords here, the Eight of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and then the Sun. So yeah, you guys kind of just feel like you're in between, like people are playing tug of war with you, you know, and there's not really much that you can do, or, you know, not really much that you can do or say other than just kind of be that middleman that's just kind of stuck in the middle, and, you know, you really can't, you know, budge, you know, or do anything, you know. But with the Ace of Swords here, I do feel like a lot of you kind of, you figure out an idea, or you're, you know, presented with some sort of idea, right, that gives you a moment of clarity that allows you to be able to really pull everything together here with the Six of Wands and create a really successful outcome here between the three of you, right? And again, this is third house energy, so there's that 3 again. And then that's card number 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. which can be reduced to 3. So let's see how we can navigate through this energy. Oh, and then 3 again with the Empress. So there's a lot of 3s here. Yeah. A lot of 3s and like 2s. So let's see here how we can navigate through. Okay, so we did have I think it was just one card that came out, but it was the Sun card. Interestingly enough. So your perseverance is rewarded. So you're going to be rewarded here. You're going to, Spirit is seeing all the hard work that you've been putting in, trying to, kind of hold things together or be the glue that kind of hold things together. And, Spirit understands that, and Spirit wants to reward you by actually being able to be successful in what you're trying to do. Okay, so Gemini, now that I see the bigger picture, I just feel like, yeah, you're going to be, you're kind of the middleman for a lot of you for this first half of the month, possibly the whole month, but you're kind of like this middleman who's kind of seeing the bigger piece of the puzzle here and seeing the big picture, because you're having information from both sides, and, either side isn't actually able to see, the picture of it because they're, just more focused on their point of view. But here you are, you're able to actually see both sides. You're able to see opposite sides here. You're able to understand it. You do take a moment of clarity, or rather take a moment of rest, isolation. And in that time is where I feel like you'll have the idea to be able to press forward. You'll get that moment of clarity to be able to push forward here. We got the Sun 3 times. So nothing but positivity, though. Nothing but positive outcomes from this point, I feel. Let me know how this works out in the comment box below, okay? You guys know I do appreciate your comments, your likes, and your subscribes. Definitely, if you haven't subscribed, I do invite you to. If you want to book a personal reading with me, all the information will be below. So, Gemini, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys have a great rest of your March. But again, let me know how this works out. I'll see you guys later on.